99.5 FM, WBAI-NY. Welcome back to another episode of Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Suck panya mada, all of y'all. I don't know why I wanted to say that now, but it's the song, man. It's stick. It just makes me feel this way.
High energy.
High energy. I had to break them off with a little bit of high energy. Bashtin', it is midnight here in the NY. It's 9 o'clock over there in LA. I'm kind of tired, so I needed this song to wake me up a little bit. Because honestly, this is the best track off the mixtape. But we'll get into that later if you listen to it, because I can talk about it. But yeah, to me, that's the best track off that album. But anyways, this is Trinidad Panamania Poppy Rude Boy, Top Gunna, Suck Panyamada, Giovanni England. Hello, everyone.
Yo, what's going on? It's Bashtin Nithsa, recording live from LA. Gio is in Brooklyn, New York. What is going on, folks?
West Side Bash in the flesh. I know everyone in LA right now is mourning. I am mourning as well because the team of LA, that is the Los Angeles Lakers, they're out of the playoffs contention. Season is over for them. It's horrible right now. I'm hurt. I'm sure the city of LA is hurt. Bashtin', what are the streets saying? Well, how are the streets feeling?
I don't know much about the streets, but I could definitely tell you, like, many perspectives of the Lakers fan would be the same feeling of how Knicks fans feel as once you lose that last game, you're out the play-ins. And the play-ins the opportunity to get into the playoffs for the 7th and 8th seed, and that's what the Nets were able to do. Just funny enough, Nets did play Knicks today.
I saw.
And Knicks did have a 20-point lead, and we lost it, of course. But I didn't watch the game because we're out the play-in, so we're not going to the playoffs. It's over. Same feeling, same energy, same upset, same looking back at like what we did, even though you, the fan, had nothing to do with how the team is organized and created.
Exactly.
With the ownership, who signs who, your players, and then coach and management. Then all those things come to fruition. 82 games this season. We had our ups, we had our downs. And for Lakers fans, they do have LeBron James, one of the greatest NBA player of our time.
Yes.
And he's still doing these high, crazy numbers, field goals, percentages, just ridiculous. In terms of if everybody else wasn't having a great MVP season, or if Lakers had a great season, like at least number 3 or number 4, he could be like high MVP contender. But they're not even going to make it to the playoffs. So
they're not.
You can't be MVP if you're not there.
I 100% agree with you there on that. Suns are incredible again, as they were last year. I don't know, maybe we might see we have an opportunity to see a replay of last year's finals with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns again. I don't know.
That'll be very interesting.
I can see that happening, Bashtin'. Since I'm in Brooklyn here, obviously I'm going to be rooting for the Nets. However, with everything that happened to the Nets this year, I don't know. I'm not sure. My hopes aren't the most high because I see the teams that have been consistent throughout the past year and last year. I can definitely see Phoenix and Milwaukee going back again. It's probably going to be a new rivalry of the 20s. It's going to be Phoenix and the Bucks.
My thing is, I do think Brooklyn could get pretty far in the playoffs because they're just a team that's just been through like a filter of injuries, right? They haven't fully been fleshed out. And of course, if they had James Harden, having 3 players would be very interesting. But I still don't think the organization that's within itself is like a cohesive organization.
It's not.
So I spoke to like my little brother and my pops about this. Like for James Harden to leave, and not being that he was waiting for Kyrie to come back and hoping that KD would be healthy in time for the playoffs, he must have stayed in Houston for those 7 years. Wanted to leave because he was done. Makes sense. No animosity. Got traded to the Nets, then looked around and realized this operation isn't operating.
Is that what you think? I have a different take, honestly.
What's your take?
My take is once the three broke up in Oklahoma City, James Harden went to Houston. He became a star in his own right. That became his squad in many rights. He became the de facto captain to that team. Of course, he had KD going out and doing his thing. He stayed in OKC. Then he went over to the Warriors, where he shared the limelight with the likes of Steph and Clay and Draymond. And, you know, they won 2 championships. And then KD took his talents to Brooklyn. And, of course, we got Kyrie come in as well. And then James Harden came in. And to me, you know, people change during times. And this is a different James Harden. This is a different KD. This is a different Kyrie. Those 2 men have won championships. So I feel like, in my opinion, James didn't really feel like this was really his team like that. James wasn't that go-to guy. James wasn't that captain. He had to share the limelight with the likes of KD. I can't really say Kyrie because we all know what happened with Kyrie. But he had to share the limelights of KD. And so
I might have to disagree with you there.
Okay, that's
Only
fine.
in the sense because he was okay with the trade to the Nets. You know, it's one of those things where you talk to your team and say, trade me to this team and do whatever you can. And that's what happened. It's not like they traded him to the Nets and like, oh, we'll deal with it later. He asked to be traded to the Nets. And that's what happened. And he's fine to work with those players. So what's the issue, right? I don't think it has anything to do with limelight. I know it might seem like that, but James Harden, he you know, he's definitely a superstar in his own right, and he's going to be forever remembered in history because of that. So now he just wants a ring, and if he has to work with other people to get a ring, go right ahead. He'll do that. So I don't think it's limelight, but I do think it has to do with culture clash. So something similar to what you said,
Right.
but I do think it has to do with culture clash. And I do think maybe the Nets organization isn't as cohesive as he thought it would be, especially holding 2 like limelight stars as KD and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. Do you see a picture where James Harden can win a ring in Philly? Because it's been a long time since we've seen Philly in
Not
the finals.
with Doc Rivers.
At least you acknowledge it. At least you acknowledge it.
Not with. I do think they could have won years ago against Toronto. You know, but you know, different time, different era.
Yeah,
they had a different coach back then too.
That is true, and it's also been a long time since we've seen Philly in the finals. It's 20 years if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
Because it was Iverson's era.
Yes.
When they played the Lakers.
They won game
that was
1
the last time.
They won game 1. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then we all know what happened the rest of the series.
Yeah, Lou knocked AI down, but we only remember for the walkover when he pretty much kept him in lock for the rest of the series, which is hilarious. And that's why he's one of the best coaches, and he's getting the Clippers into the playoffs. He's just built different. And Lakers should have signed him. And they should have signed Lou and gave him that 5-year contract, but they ain't seeing any worth. And look where they are now. But that's just basketball. It's very interesting this season. If it was a TV show, it's a lot of twists and turns. You're hoping like certain characters from the past will make their shine, but instead they were just written off. Like the writers just kind of forgot who they were, and just kind of like put this, remember him? He used to be great. But everybody around them that used to be great too are just has-beens. So not just seeing like Melo and them and all, but it's like these guys are older people.
Yes.
And they're a bunch of bench players playing as starters. So
that's fair. That is very fair for you to say, Bashtin. And I think the reason why they are starters is because of the name and because of the accolades that they gave us for the past 15 years.
And that's perfectly fine. You could have accolades in different teams, but you have to split them up. You can't have a team with like 5 accolades, 5 classic, basketball shop cards.
Right, because
it's these were fire 10 years ago.
I mean, to be fair, I am a Lakers fan, but I will shoot them while they are down right now. We saw what happened in 2012 when they tried this before.
Yeah.
Steve Nash, I'll never forget. It was like Steve Nash, Kobe, Meta World Peace, Dwight Howard, Pau Gasol. And everyone thought, okay, this is the team to go ahead and get at Miami in the finals. Did that happen? No. Absolutely not. The exact opposite happened. They stunk. It was bad.
And that situation, just to quickly dive on it,
Please.
shows the biggest difference between today. Most players wouldn't be signed if they're already like pre-injured.
Right.
So Dwight Howard was already injured.
He was.
And that's why his Lakers like weird career in Lakers was just like awkward.
I think this was number 4 Dwight Howard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people didn't take it the way it was supposed to, and that's kind of what like made his career, his really, really great superstar career, go down.
Yes, because let's not forget, this man was the Superman, okay? This was like modern day Shaq back in like 2008, 2009. He went to the finals, if I'm not mistaken, when we were younger.
Yeah, by himself.
By himself. He went to the freaking finals. We haven't seen the Magic go back to the finals since Shaq and Penny and Nick Anderson and all them. Okay, so this
his team. I think like Rashad Lewis was the shooter.
Yes.
Oh man, it was a different era. It was fun. They were a great team to watch too. So they beat LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals. It was old classics.
Right.
But, sometimes it's timing and sometimes it's just not being able to take care of your body. And I think that's what today's world is much better at doing, where someone like Ben Simmons, who I'm just going to quickly not shoot down, but he hasn't played all year.
We haven't
seen
him.
We haven't seen him. His mind has been elsewhere. Not to talk bad about him. I do think players do go through many mental health issues. Yeah, and if he's not ready to play for the rest of the season, which they said he's not going to, then that's it. It's perfectly fine. And I think it's a safe thing for him to do, especially when it's like it's your body and you want it to be at prime condition. So once you're back to playing, you won't just stop or in the between or in the middle and break down. So, take as much time as you need, because certain players back then needed that time, but they were just forced to play. They get injured, something happens,
Yes, not everyone can have the A, Mamba mentality, or B, the Michael Jordan mentality, because we've seen that damn doc.
Well, like Michael Jordan mentality is something else, but like the phrase before the Mamba mentality was like the chill, like the step back, especially with what he was going through, and you can't ignore that either. But the step back and understanding your situation, I think that's where Ben Simmons is right now. And, when he comes back next year, I do think he'll be able to grasp that new personality.
Right.
Or just kind of go back to where he was.
Hopefully not. Hopefully this is a new sign of a new beginning for Ben. Okay, because we haven't seen him all season. This could be a sign of new start, new beginning, new team, new jersey. Hopefully, he reinvents himself. I honestly do hope that for Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons, he is talented despite his flaws. He is talented, and I think, with under the right tutelage, he can be good. He can be one of the greats. He can be. He just needs to believe that in himself too, and then show up on the court and execute that.
Believe in yourself.
Exactly. Sometimes it's like you said. Your mental is one of the biggest thing that holds you back from yourself. If the Yay doc has taught us anything, sometimes you just if you have the talent now, all right, that is a definite. I have to make sure I say that. If you
mastered the basics.
That's right. If you mastered the basics and you actually have that talent, okay, you have to believe in yourself, because if you do not believe in yourself, who will? Okay, you have to sell yourself. Not like that though, but you know what I mean. You have to sell yourself on how good you are, how talented you are.
That's the idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get them believe in you. You gotta believe in yourself before you get other people to believe in you. That whole concept.
Absolutely. But Bashtin, it is it's one of the truest things ever. What I've realized growing up or just getting older, some of the most simplest sayings hold some of the most weight to it. Because of how simple it is, it's just deeper than how simple the saying is. There's always something more to it. Always be yourself. Which is so cliche, but there's a lot to that, always believe in yourself, even when no one does.
Yeah, I do get it, especially if it's open for interpretations. It's more like pacing yourself. If you need certain time to believe in yourself, like Ben Simmons, for example,
Right.
you gotta take the time. So I'm always disagreeing with people saying like he's a clown, he's not doing this, doing that. It's like we don't know what he's going through.
Mm-hmm.
So if he needs to take the back seat in the limelight just for him to come back even stronger, then go ahead, because he's not injured or anything. I think he has like a back disc problem or something, but I think he'll be back.
Okay.
But yeah.
How have you been though, man? What's new with you? How's LA treating you?
It's the same old. It's getting hotter, so you gotta drink more water.
Ooh.
Always got to get the pH level on balance
Oh.
because the tap water here isn't good at all.
Oh, really?
If you like, what I do is use tap water through a filter, then drink the water through the filter, and it leaves this very lime lemony taste.
Ooh.
So that's just me as a water connoisseur. So yeah, that's just how I drink water out here. I don't know if I need to boil water and then put it through the filter, and that's just killing every type of mineral.
I remember having to boil the water. I remember doing that in the Caribbean. Definitely remember that.
Definitely not good for you.
It's not. I know. I know.
Yeah. Folks out there, boiling water is only good for you for an extent, but you need those minerals in that natural water, in that river water. Like that's what's keeping you alive. Or just eat some fruits. I got a lot of liquid in that as well. So that's what I might need to do. I might need to eat more fruits throughout the day in order to replenish my water supply.
Yeah, everything's in season over there.
Nothing's in season, bro. We're still in spring. Like it's like most of the summer foods, most of the fruits is pretty much in season in the summer.
Oh, I thought in LA is different because there isn't that drastic of a weather change. So
I promise you, that's not how it works.
Oh, okay. Enlighten me.
Well, it's like if you go, let's say mango season, as my mom would say, mango season was like around springtime, maybe around winter time. I don't recall, but there's like a certain like 8-week time where mangoes at its peak, when it's perfectly sweet. You can take it from the branch and eat it without washing it, right?
Basically when it doesn't rain.
Right. So now if you're eating mango out of every other time because your tree just magically grows mango, and it happens like that, it's just not that good. It's not sweet. It might have a dull taste, but that's why there's like 56 different styles of mango. Because the one that's in Jamaica Avenue that you're walking around, they always have mango on deck. And you're like, why do they always have mango? But the hot sauce is because that mango is not sweet. It's more of a dull flavor, but tastes real good with hot sauce. And that's kind of how it is for fruits. Same thing for watermelons. Like there's a season for that. Same thing for strawberries. And if you go to your local store, you might see it discounted. Let me tell you, it's not that great. You might need to add sugar to it if you're making the juice like I do. So that's just how fruits work. Everything has a season for it. You can eat your kiwi whenever. I think blueberries are fine because they're mostly frozen. That's what people do for frozen fruits, because I think they just overproduce it during certain seasons, freeze it, and then you get to have it for a long period of time. As long as it doesn't unfreeze, like defrost and you freeze it again, you should be fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of things that you can defrost and try and freeze it again, and it would go bad.
Yeah, or it just straight up taste like water.
That's
like
the
this
worst.
strawberry, whatever flavor it had, no longer exists. The ice has got into the center of it and transformed it. Some chemistry stuff. I don't know. I don't even think it works like that. But but speaking of chemistry stuff, Gio.
Yeah.
You're kind of you're in the streets, right? You're out here. You have it every now and then. You go on a date or two.
Oh man, thank you for bringing up dates, because over at work and just personal life, I talk a lot with clients about like dating and stuff, because a lot of them use dating apps, and which is super convenient, right? Because in your hand you have all of these apps like Hinge, Tinder, Plenty of Fish, Bumble, and it's crazy because you have access to just millions of people in your area. And with that, I always have this conversation with my clients who use the apps, and I'm like, bro, I just feel like people in general don't know how to actually have conversations with one another anymore, unless if it's through a screen. Like online dating, it just allows people to just swipe left or right. You have so many people that you have access to where you're talking to numerous people, but once you get in front of people, like if you just go into a bar, everyone's just on their phone. Most people are on their phones. No one really knows how to like just talk to someone. No one can just go up to someone and just talk because everyone is just too nervous.
I think so. Yeah, it could more or less be about the person you're talking to. Maybe you have to either carry the conversation. If neither of you could carry the conversation, then the bubble will just pop. But what I wanted to conclude is about male birth control.
Yes.
And how it will affect the dating scene, or how it will affect the day-to-day.
How's it going to affect men?
And how it will affect men is very important, because women's birth control also affect different women differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's why doctors will tell them to prescribe to different treatment or different pills, or depending on how they're doing birth control, in different ways to see what's more comfortable for them.
Be honest.
So
Bashtin.
now there's more studies about male birth control, where I think it was like a shot. It was one study I read where you just take a shot and you're pretty much good for X amount of time. And what it does, it kind of slows down the certain cells. I'm not really going to get scientific for the folks, but just a quick snippet about it. It slows down certain cells, so it's not really going to shoot out. It's going to be more like shooting out blanks for you. So, it's your own personal birth control. And, the story of birth control makes sense of why it's produced that way.
Mm.
We could have a whole conversation about how, we do need more birth controls in the public for free,
Yes.
giving for free. But I'm looking at this so positively. Like, it's like, oh yeah, male birth control is going to happen. But a lot of people are upset, and a lot of men are upset. That soon they'll get the option to have birth control.
Oh, see, this is why I can't be on Twitter, because niggas on Twitter, they can't take anything serious. So
it's not just Twitter; it's just like men in general. Because they will talk about male birth control for a minute now,
mm-hmm.
and they always say the same thing, that they're trying to stop me from having kids. It's like, why do you think? Well, wait, but yeah, that's the point.
What are these alpha males saying this, or what?
No, it's more of in fear, because most men don't understand the concept of birth control, surprisingly. So,
of course not, because they. Well, I'm not gonna say they, because I'm a man too. We've never had to deal with that ever.
Okay, but now it correlates to if you're dating, right?
Okay.
And it does come up later on in conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Like now you can understand like where you want to go mentally. So male birth control, I do think it's a great idea. I don't know how long it takes to do studies. It could take 15 years, maybe 10 years before it's like, nah, you could pop pills. Maybe pop pills not the right correlation, but now you can take pills for this, so you and your partner could be triple safe.
Yes. And Bashtin, I feel the same way as you do. This can be revolutionary here, man. Okay? Because now we can get all of our ish off too. Think about it, man. Just think about it. Say if a woman gets pregnant, right? You on your pill. You know what I'm saying? And she comes up with you like, oh, I'm pregnant. Da 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 da. You could be like Redman and see the Chucky. Congratulations, who the baby daddy? It's not me. I'm on the pill, boo boo. It's not me. So who you been with? Good luck with the baby daddy. Hey, I know Maury is canceled, but I swear to God, if they make this male birth control pill within the next 2-3 years, Maury gotta come back, bruh. That's gonna be a whole new he has a whole new layer of You're Not the Father. He's been in our lives for 30 years, okay? But with this male birth control pill, I'm telling you, ratings will be at an all-time high. I'm telling you. Think
I think
about it,
so, too.
fellas.
That's a
Fellas,
different plot line.
that's a different plot line. Think about it, man. This male birth control pill is revolutionary for us, okay? Because we set the terms now, okay? We get to decide. It's my body, my choice. You have the choice to whether you want to produce kids, whether you don't want to produce kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, man. Okay, we need to embrace this. I know I've been on Twitter. I've seen a lot of men embracing this. Okay.
I see a lot of people disapproving it.
I haven't.
All right, I'm gonna bring this side of the conversation a little bit early. I'm gonna bring it later.
Okay.
For when we discuss Red Panda later today.
It's actually called Turning Red. I keep calling it Red Panda. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know what? You wrote Red Panda.
I know.
Now I called it.
I know.
Right.
It's because it's just
Red.
a Red Panda movie. I know, man. I'm sorry.
In the show notes, you wrote Red Panda, and I said it that way. All right. So Turning Red. I'm talking about it later. Turn Red.
Yes.
But right now, I would like to call it the post-COVID era, where we as the society are more focused on having social conversations online. Hence, we're more gravitated to having an echo chamber on our cell phones.
Yeah.
Right?
We fake care about things every week.
No, not fake care. I won't call it fake care, but we're now having amplified certain topics that you normally never had discussions about, and now you're more vocal about it, even though you're limited to the type of knowledge that you have, right?
That's the Bashtin way of explaining it. Yes, I like that.
All right,
I say
fine.
fake care. No. I like that. No, keep that. Keep that. I like that. That's the corporate way of saying it.
All right, fine. But algorithms create echo chambers. Hence, now these echo chambers bring people's personalities. That's also part of that echo chamber. Now creating new personalities for you, right? That's kind of, you build on that. So the way I look at how many men look at male birth control is, it's not like the same way people look at vaccine, but like a negative connotation that, one, that it will stop you from having kids. Two, like they're just trying to stop you because the man is trying to stop you. And when you put all those things together, this is like the actual conversation. Because if you go on Instagram and you go to those, most of these pages are designed to create discourse, and you read the comments, it's straight up negative. I could not see a positive comment anywhere about this one thing that women been doing for the past 100 years.
Right.
Because it's still recent in it's birth control is pretty recent. I know there's different ways of doing it from the past, but like birth control the way it is today, it's very recent in time. So it's like, yeah, eventually they understood why it's good, and it does have a lot of benefits for women as well. It's like for men, it could be pretty beneficial. Who knows?
You guys can be whores if you want.
No, but that's not how they see it.
I know they don't.
More as a negative, testing or controlling.
You guys do know. You guys do know, like, it's your choice to take the damn thing, right? Like, you don't have to take it, right?
See, Gio, you're thinking too logical.
I know. That's the freaking problem with people on the internet.
It's not even the internet, because they're there in real life too. It's just once you meet new people and you have certain conversations, they say wild things. And then you're like, where you get this information, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because there are people, you go to your local barbershop and you hear what other people are saying.
Oh,
you kind of had to
of course.
intervene a little bit.
Nah, man, I just let niggas sometimes, bro. Like, whenever they talk about the pineal gland and all that, and the pyramids and the earth and the stars, and
kings.
We was kings. I leave it alone, because I know for a fact we're not actually using science here. We are using.
No, they are using science. Hotep-Street science.
Exactly, Bashtin. Exactly. That's the problem sometimes, because when you try and talk logic, you know what I'm saying, they want to talk about all this other sea moss and Mother God and broccoli is man-made, which is true. I found out. Bashtin taught me that, but
yeah, everything is man-made.
Sometimes
being a plant. Was it just like controlling plants and stuff.
But sometimes you have to let people know 2 + 2 = 4. Okay? Sometimes things just is what it is. 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. Okay?
You should say your denim is man-made. You know, your snapback is man-made. Why are you wearing it? Why don't you just put some leaves on? I don't know. All right, that's enough of this talk. I do think the male birth control discourse is going to like really blossom in the future.
Yes.
So just putting it in this episode of Black Seinfeld, where you can listen to it in any podcast application. All you have to type is Black space Seinfeld, and you'll be able to listen to our older episodes. And we are on social media, Black Seinfeld NY for Twitter and Instagram. Maybe you have any questions. If you had a conversation with you and your friends about male birth control, feel free to email us.
Yes.
You know, we'll love to talk about it, because I do think it is going to be the topic of the future in a negative connotation way. It's like people are going to hate on it. It's going to be interesting. Like, why are you upset? You don't have to do it.
That is
you don't
true.
have to take it. Go
It's
ahead,
a
have
freaking
kids,
choice.
bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here's the $1 million question, Bashtin. Say if the male birth control pills comes out next year, they've done all the trials, they've done all the errors, and everything is good.
Yeah.
Are you taking?
No.
You're not taking it?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm gonna wait it out a bit. I'm gonna give that perspective of people that took the vaccine. I'm gonna wait it out a bit.
Oh, okay. Fair.
No, but it's not the same thing. Like vaccine,
Yeah,
is
of course.
you understand why it's designed to keep you safe. But like, you don't have to take it. It's not necessary to take it.
Right.
It's only there as a safety precaution, especially if you have multiple partners and you're out there, thawing around.
If you with the
in
gal
your local area,
That's right.
And being educated about it and talking to other people. Hey, quick, not even hot take. Here's a quick idea. In order to get male birth control to work well in a corporate setting, especially for men, is you have to do some type of like money response, right? When a Cash App first started, you said get your friend to sign up, you get $5.
Right.
Both get $5.
Yes.
So you gotta do the same thing. Say, hey, get your boy to sign up, and you get 1 month free. And then they're gonna get the whole neighborhood signed up. But your boy has to stay there for 6 months.
Oh, damn.
There you go. Yeah. See, that's how it works. You can't just do one and another.
That
it has
true.
to both because you want to try it out, and they just want to do more testing as well. But I'm giving these ideas for free, but it's not like I won't work.
But remember, kids, the safe sex is no sex. So please practice abstinence. We here at Black Seinfeld, we support abstinence.
Let me stop you right there. I can't even joke about that.
Well, I'm teaching the kids right, man.
Yeah, teaching. Yeah, there's always a negative. There's always something negative that happens when you be too negative. So that's the way I look at it.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Oh, 100%. That Twitter is the place for negativity. They thrive on negativity. You see negativity as soon as you open up your damn app. You see. I'm sorry.
I'm definitely going to talk about it with Turning Red later on.
Oh, okay. See, I still haven't seen, until I saw the movie, I haven't seen any of the negativity.
Let's save it for later. Let's save it for later.
But I was going to talk about how they are dragging the hell out of Jada this week, even though we don't even know like if she actually said what she said.
She didn't say anything.
I know she didn't, but however, I always tell you, the lie is more entertaining. And when the lie is more entertaining, Bashtin, that always creates a conversation, even though she hasn't said jack all. This comes from a source of a very close friend. They always say that in these damn tabloids. Because of that.
Same thing with...
It's entertaining. Because of that, it's entertaining. You see everyone with think pieces. You see creators creating. You see content creators. You see all tweeters tweeting. You see everyone putting in their 2 cents. And why? Because people can't stand Jada.
So it's the same thing I saw recently about Will and him and his projects that are on quote unquote hold.
Oh yeah, that's some bullshit.
It's funny because there was this article that was going around really quickly. Was Will is working on like a documentary by himself or a movie, something like that, like a biopic or something. I don't know.
Was it based on his book?
Yeah, based on his book.
Oh, okay.
And he got the writers writing and everything's working so far. And the article says like, oh, Apple is pulling out and Netflix is pulling out because of the controversy, and they want to invest in other black men like Omar Epps or Michael J. Jordan. And I'm like,
Michael Jordan? What?
What's his name? Michael J.
Oh, Michael J. White?
No, Jordan.
Oh, Michael Jordan. No, I'm saying like, wait, Nick, we know about Michael Jordan. We know how he get down. He's a sociopath. What are you talking about? But anyways, continue.
Okay. And that was like what article, and the source was the Suns.
Wait, did you mean Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan. Why
Oh,
Michael B. Jordan. My fault.
No, it's all good, man.
Michael B. Jordan.
I forgot.
They want to invest in Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
And the article source is the Suns. It's
Yes.
one source from the Suns, which is a terrible source.
Absolutely.
And this
horrible.
article is everywhere now.
Yes,
And articles
that
are
one
written about the
article.
articles.
So it's fake when it's only based off of one article and you see the same picture over and over and over again. That is the key sign of this being fake.
So I think the whole thing is fake. I think everything is fake that's going on right now, and it's disturbing. But it's hilarious, and I do think it's pretty much our times of today. As you said, the lie is more interesting than the truth. So that being said, let's get into the first song of the week.
Yes, first song of the week. We are out of Women's History Month, so we could just play whatever the hell we want. And that sounds so wrong. I'm sorry, man.
Awful.
It sounded awful. Shout out to women. That sounded even worse. All right, I'm just going to play the song. It's from Denzel Curry, Ain't No Way, featuring Josiah, Rico Nasty, JID, and 6 Black. We'll be right back with more Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, non-binaries, to Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. That was Denzel Curry, Ain't No Way, featuring Josiah, Rico Nasty, JID, and Black, aka I call him 6 Black, off of the album that recently came out, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. Still, to me, one of the best albums to drop in 2022. It's only been like a week, but I'm still gonna say that because it's still great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a very fun album. Like I said, playing from nice speakers.
Fun. It is. This man needs a hug. What are you talking about? Fun.
Okay, sonically,
yes. Okay, and you were asking me how I was doing earlier, and I will tell you, it's dry over there in Cali, but over here it is definitely April showers bringing the May flowers, because it has been raining nonstop, Bashtin. And this is a great album to listen to while it's been pouring and windy and muggy and gloomy and disgusting. This is the album for it.
Interesting.
Absolutely, man.
The same thing for the Batman, right?
Yeah, honestly, yes. That is the best
dark
time
and edgy. Well, these are both 2 dark albums, actually, in terms of topics and sonics.
Yes. I will say, though, the cover to Denzel Curry's album, the blue and the greenish hues and all that stuff, those look like colors you would wear.
Yeah, bright and dark. I think these good complementary colors.
They definitely have the Bashtin aesthetic.
I do like his album cover a lot. I do have a problem with like artists and their album covers. That's why I don't like the new Dreamville mixtape D-Day cover, even though it's a reference to old classic covers. It's still pretty, gross.
It's an ode to crappy mixtape covers, Bashtin. They're turning the clock back to those times. That even with Savage Mode 2,
that was better. No, but that actually looked like it.
Okay.
And the guy who made those covers came out of retirement just to make that one cover.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Fair enough. All right. You win that one. You got it. You got it.
All right. So let's get into the first topic.
Sure, bud. Let's get into
conversation. I guess the
meat.
second topic.
Well, this is the real meat of the conversation here, because we're gonna be here for a while, at least 30 plus minutes. I feel like we're
All
going to
right.
be here until at least like 1:30 talking about everything in detail.
True. So on Sunday,
Yes.
April 3rd, it was the 64th Grammy Award. And instead of being done in Staples Center, oh, excuse me, I meant to say Crypto.com Center,
There you go.
because usually that's the time where Lakers will have like a 7-game road game, right? And then they'll come back home because, it takes time to plan for the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they had it at MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas.
Yes.
For
For the first time?
For the first time. Like I said, it's always in LA.
There are some times where it's in New York.
Sometimes I think it happened
2018 that happened in
2018.
MSG.
Yeah. But it's mostly in Staples Arena.
That is true. Yes.
Because, the stars are already there anyway, so it's not
Mm-hmm.
paying just to go to the show.
Stars are there. The industry is there.
The industry is there. And it was pretty interesting. I did get a chance to watch the whole thing.
Yes.
And just to say, it was actually one of the second lowest rating Grammys since last year.
I'm not surprised, Bashtin.
Yeah.
And
It's
we always
it says
have
a lot about the show awards.
We always have this conversation, of course. I mean, even with the Academy Awards, the 94th Academy Awards, it was still one of the lowest viewerships, lowest ratings when it comes to the Academy Awards. And that just goes to show how every year less and less people really care about what these high pretentious awards, we don't care anymore. And I think accessibility is a thing too. Why are we in 2022 and none of this is available on YouTube, Twitch? It's still on freaking cable. What are like people? People don't have cable, right? Like people are actively don't have cable
on Twitch and YouTube Live, but they have to make their money back.
But people don't have cable like that though, Bashtin. People go to extremes of like going through like illegal streams just to watch it because they see it trending on Twitter, and people of course want to be part of the conversation and they want to see what's happening. So make it accessible, more accessible. I mean, you see people not really caring like that anyways. You see think pieces every year right after the Grammys are done, right after the Oscars are done. Oh, the Academy Awards and the Grammys they keep getting lower. The viewership for the Academy is at its lowest, and you're gonna consistently see that because no one really care about cable like that.
That's true.
They don't think about that stuff.
The Grammys is pretty much the same way, but what I do think about both award show is people are pretty much interested in who won in the afterwards. And I actually read something online about how it was hard for tailors to get certain fabrics in Las Vegas than it is in LA because they're used to being in LA, so they know where the best fabrics are for making clothing.
Oh, okay.
In terms of stylists, that's what I said, right?
Yes.
All right. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny to read. That's like they went to Las Vegas and realized they had like low quality everything. But that's why you're there.
That's not what Vegas is for, man. Vegas is for gambling.
Yeah.
This ain't a fashion show here.
No, you bring your stuff and stay here for 3 days and bounce.
Right, exactly. You could drink outside and that's it. Go home, gamble. That's about it.
So the award show was actually presented by Trevor Noah.
Yes.
Daily Show comedian and presenter. And I thought he did a good job. I watched the whole thing, and I don't think Trevor Noah is corny like many people do. I think he does exactly what comedians do on TV.
Who thinks Trevor Noah's corny?
A lot of people.
I'm out of the loop here, man. What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people.
Oh. Why do they think he's corny?
It's a thing. People have their conversation about it.
Like Russell Wilson corny?
No. More like comedian. It's like you either like his jokes or you don't.
Oh,
so
okay.
You could be like, I don't like Trevor Noah, and that's your conversation. That's your personality on him.
Like
every time it's brought up.
Like he's too smart?
I don't say that. Sometimes he makes jokes and people disagree with his perspective. But I think that's everything. It's like, oh, you got upset because you don't like his perspective on this topic. Well, of course you have a different perspective. He grew up different. So he definitely grew up in a harsher environment than a lot of people complaining.
Right. I think it's also fair to say that, speaking of Trevor Noah, Kanye West was banned from the Grammys.
He wasn't banned.
He wasn't banned?
No.
All right, I
It
guess I
wasn't
read
bad.
some BS then. Whatever.
No, it was. It seemed like he was probably open to do a performance, and they probably
Yes.
cut it out. But there was no exact article detailing everything. So it's like no sources on both ends, and nothing happened.
Mm.
The same way like how he pulled out Coachella recently. He just pulled out. That's it.
He
No
pulled
story.
out. Coachella didn't pull him out.
No, he pulled out.
Huh.
It'd be foolish. Like that's a lot of money.
Huh.
I think it's like 8.5 million or something.
The hell is Kanye cooking up now? Hey, we're
No,
talking about
it's like
Kanye right now. This is the one time of the month we're talking about Kanye. Okay, it's
no,
April.
it's nonsensical. I'm just talking about how news travels, and sometimes it's not news.
Mm.
And I think that particular conversation is not news. But other than that, the award show was pretty simple. It was very clean. I think everybody was more on their toes with conversations due to what happened the week before at the Oscars. I think Trevor Noah told a quick joke about it, but maybe he had to just to push it out the way and move forward. But one of the biggest problems I had were some of the awards were done before, which is normal, like the ones that aren't shown on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping, and I thought the best rap album award goes on TV, but I don't think it ever was.
I don't.
Do you recall?
No. Yes, it was because we remember. Let's not forget, Bastion. 2014. Let's go back. 2014.
Oh man,
The nominations were, god damn it, never forget it. Kanye West, Yeezus, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, Jay-Z, Magna Carta, Holy Grail, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City,
you said it again.
Macklemore, right? No, I said that for emphasis. Okay, Drake. Nothing was the same.
Yeah,
Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, The Heist.
good album.
Let's not forget who won that. Macklemore. And his career went downhill ever since.
Because he took a liberal approach and took a step back. He should have stayed pop. All right. I will say this to this day. Macklemore, you should have stayed pop and added more politics in your pop. All right. I know you're good at politics. So I disagree with Macklemore did. He should have stayed pop, but sprinkle some politics in it, man. And so he could beat To Pimp a Butterfly when it came out. All right. So
that made me even more mad. That made me mad even more.
So the performances were pretty fun.
Nice.
I thought I'm going to go out of order because I don't care. But
Yeah, I don't care
I thought
either.
her performance was pretty cool
Ooh, her
because she's
performance.
multi-talented.
Mm-hmm.
She really understands arts. She really understands playing instruments. She's not like an industry plant. Like even if she is, she used those checks.
I swear, this
to work
is
on
Bastion's
herself. All right.
That's your favorite word when it comes to music nowadays.
It is because they're in your face and it's kind of annoying. Like Olivia Rodrigo. Is she an industry plant? I don't know.
She
but the
came
money,
from High School Musical, no?
I don't.
She's
No.
in that. She's in that new high school. There's a High School Musical show on Disney Plus. I know she's on that show. That's all I know her from. That's it. I don't know what she was doing before then, but that's how I know of her. I know that face. She was on that new High School Musical show on Disney Plus. That's all I know of her.
Selling a high-rated album coming from Disney Plus is very difficult to do. Okay, especially at the age of 19.
Miley Cyrus did it.
No. Who's her dad?
Okay, Billy Ray, but
Okay, all right. Who's her godmother?
Dolly Parton. But
Okay,
black people
that's
love
kinda
Dolly Parton.
strange.
Okay.
That's kind of strange. All right. Anyways, Billie Eilish had a good performance.
Cool.
Lil Nas X had a great performance too.
My guy.
I think he's getting better as a performer.
No longer a one-hit wonder.
John Baptiste, I think he had one of the second to last awards. Not awards.
Musical performances.
Musical performance, and it was bright, colorful, and very festive in his Louisiana style. And I actually finally did listen to his album. It's really good. I think you'll like it, Gio.
Okay.
It was on the back burner. I just keep forgetting last year. John Baptiste, he is part of the nightly show with Stephen Colbert.
Oh, cool.
So I've known him for a while. Nas performs as
medley.
well. You know, he plays a couple of
Medleys.
tracks from his past. Silk Sonic
Started off the show, right?
started off the show.
Everyone
And-
started sniffing their cocaine immediately.
And Justin Bieber, you know, he was out there. He did a performance. J Balvin, I forgot. You know, J Balvin also had a performance, and also Lady Gaga
Then BTS too.
and BTS. Yes, I kind of skipped them
Fair
because
enough.
I don't know them.
Be careful.
I'm a tread lightly, but
Tread lightly.
They had a great performance.
Oh, and Lady Gaga featuring Tony Bennett. You gotta mention that.
Oh, he wasn't there.
Oh,
but
he wasn't there?
No, he's sick, man.
Yeah,
He's very sick.
I know. Yeah.
But he did do it for him as well.
Okay.
But yeah, let's get into like the real juice. It's
Please.
pretty much the awards, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go through the list.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Before you get into the list, what was your overall thoughts of the award ceremony? How did you feel watching it? Did it feel very formulaic? Did it feel different and new? How did you feel, man?
It's not different. It's not new. It was very clean. It was very professional. That's pretty much it. Was it fun to watch? Like certain performances were fun to watch. But that's pretty much it. I couldn't say there was any real positiveness of the award show rather than listening and hearing who won certain categories and being like, oh my God, or like, yeah, that sounds about right. So that's the only enjoyment is when, you know, they go over who got nominated, and when they say the certain artist, you're like, okay, this person won. So like, for example, Silk Sonic, every time they won the award, they did this cool like slow motion dance,
Synchronized.
and they go to talk, and watching them on the floor while they're sitting down, they were fun. You know, Silk Sonic understood what they're meant to do. They were meant to bring this presence of 70s as braggadocious, you know, and that's something rare in music today. They just don't brag in style like they used to. There's other ways to do it. But like record of the year, they won Leave the Door Open. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes. So record of the year, people, it highlights the audio. They highlight the production of the record as opposed to the song of the year, where they highlight the songwriting.
Yeah. So this is interesting because there's like, let me see, like 10 nominations. I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a new thing that they're doing that year too. Instead of 8, they're doing 10 now to give more variety and to give more recognition to different artists so they can be more diverse after what happened last year.
Yeah, that makes sense. Then album of the year, it went to We Are by John Baptiste. And I thought that was bad because even John was shocked and surprised and like was weirded out. And you see it in his facial recognition because you're going against Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, Doja Cat, Billie Eilish, her, Lil Nas X, Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, and Kanye.
Yeah, I swore that Olivia Rodrigo kid would win it. I swore she would have, to be honest.
I thought she would win it too. I'll be upset if she won.
I would too. But, you know, I figured, yeah, I get it. You know, that song was crazy. That album it wasn't a banger to me, but it made airwaves.
It made airwaves. But like even Doja Cat and like Billie Eilish and her, like I thought even they would probably do it. But John Baptiste won. I found it very suspicious. I felt like they rather not choose any of these people and chose him. Yeah, that's what I think.
Twitter was at an uproar the next day after what I was watching. Twitter was at an uproar because everyone's like, "Yo, who the hell is this John Baptiste guy? This man had made no record sales. This man was not on the billboards. He had no hits. Who is this gentleman? We've never heard of this man." And then I saw some people come to his defense saying, you know, it's not about who's popular. It's about who made the best music. And I immediately called BS on that because let's not forget 2014 once again. No, I'm sorry. 2015, where Beyonce lost to frickin' Beck, who is a Scientologist, but that's another conversation for another day. And y'all said it's not about who's popular. It's about who made the best music. I said, okay, I'm going to let it go. And then the very next year, 2016, Taylor Swift beat Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. So I said, go fuck yourself, Grammys, and people who try to defend that.
It's pretty hard to understand who does the voting and why. The song of the year, also Slick Sonic.
Yes. Leave the door open.
Leave the door open.
No problems with that. Absolutely. Yes.
Best new artist.
Olivia Rodrigo, right?
Olivia Rodrigo, which makes more sense.
Yeah.
You know?
I was kind of upset that kid Phineas was nominated because he won Grammys already. What do you mean you the best new artist? No.
Phineas, yeah.
Yeah, you Billie Eilish's brother. We know you, Phineas. You not new.
He's cool.
He cool, though.
Sweetie was nominated for it.
Yeah, how would you feel if Sweetie won? Be honest. If Sweetie won. Be real.
I guess we'll never know.
We will never know. Fair enough. I like that.
Pop. Best pop solo performance, definitely Olivia Rodrigo for Driver's License, which is a song that I can never really get into. I really did try when I heard it's like, oh, this is like Frank Ocean. I forgot that record. Forget about what was the one with the window? It's the old Frank Ocean. What's the first Frank Ocean record that popped off? Novocaine.
Novocaine, yes.
Yeah. So people's like, oh, it's their Novocaine. It's like, this is not Novocaine. I guess if you're under 16, I guess it's your Novocaine.
I guess we're getting older, bud.
So one of my favorite nominees that came on the floor was the best pop duo.
Yes.
And Kiss Me More, Doja Cat won with SZA.
Nice.
And SZA was in Crushes, and apparently Doja Cat was in the bathroom around this time.
Oh, that's
so there's
awesome.
footage in
Seriously?
the back of her running because that's her nomination. That's for like her category. And
right.
She won. Because I was wondering, it's like, why isn't the camera panning at Doja Cat and SZA?
Right.
And only SZA. And then you see her running.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And SZA said, like, I don't know why you went to use the bathroom now. And, Doja Cat made jokes because she's Doja. Then she started to, like, cry because she's like, and my favorite quote is, I know I joke around a lot, but this means something to me. So
good for her, man.
That was great.
And it's cool to see, Doja Cat be labeled as a pop artist, because a lot of times, and I know Tyler's talked about this in 2019 was it 2019? I want to say 2019 or 2020. I don't know, but you get the point where he won the album. No, I'm sorry. When he won the rap album
for Igor.
Exactly, for the first time, right? And he said, whenever black artists genre bend, people like to put, the Academy and shit, they like to, the Grammys, they like to put the word urban in it, and it's just a politically correct term of saying black. So I'm happy that Doja Cat and SZA was placed under the pop category because it is definitely pop, and Doja's a pop star. So for now,
she's a pop star.
Until she wants to rap again, but for now she's popping
raps.
it.
She's still, I saw, she still raps. And telling she's a rapper.
I know.
Best pop vocal album, Sour, Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And I'm not surprised like the albums that she won, but best alternative music, Daddy's Home St. Vincent. That was the album that I spoke about last year. That I was a big fan of. R&B performance was a tie.
Really?
Silk Sonic and Jasmine Sullivan.
Yay, Jasmine Sullivan won.
So that was the tie. And Jasmine's in best traditional R&B performance, her one for Fight for You.
Oh, that was
best
the
R&B song.
Black Lives Matter song, right?
Yeah. Best R&B song, Leave the Door Open. So Sonic again.
Fair, yeah, killing it.
Best progressive R&B album, Lucky Day.
Oh,
Table for Two.
Okay.
And best R&B album, Hotels, Jasmine Sullivan. So she definitely won the award. I was glad she won.
Got her just due, damn it. Shout out to her.
Now, this is, this show, we're kind of biased towards rap because that's what we grew up on.
Of course.
But yeah, rap music. Best rap performance goes to Family Ties, Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
And I thought that was great.
Yes.
Because Baby Keem went on stage. Of course, K-Dot is not there with them.
Yeah.
But he told a great, thank you. And hey, Baby Keem is Grammy nominated. first album.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't like his album, but
Yeah, but I like the song. Okay, that was a great splash. I remember the moments that came out. I remember one of my clients saying, "Yo, did you hear this new song from Baby Keem featuring Kendrick?" And I said, "No, I have to listen to it immediately." And it was a great moment. It was a beautiful
quick
video.
question: Cardi B, Up was just like a random single, right?
Yeah, that was a single.
They got nominated for best rap performance.
Huh.
That single, did it pop? I don't remember that single
did.
popping.
It
did for a
definitely
minute?
did for a minute. I'm not gonna lie, because remember it started the term "if it's up and it's stuck," so that came from that song. It definitely popped off. The reason
Okay.
why you don't really remember is because pandemic.
Okay, that makes sense. My Life, J. Cole, Way Too Sexy, and Thought Stuff by Megan Thee Stallion. Best melodic rap performance went to Hurricane with Kanye West, The Weeknd, and Lil Baby. Of course,
Hey.
that's like the best one. And then best rap song, Jail, Kanye West and Jay-Z.
That's right, the throne, baby. We did it again. That's right. It's The Rock, you bastards. I told you, bastards. I told you. It's a beautiful song. It's a great song.
And best rap album goes to Tyler the Creator, Call Me If You Could Get Lost.
Yes.
And I wish he was on stage. No, he wasn't even there. So
He was on tour.
he's on tour. But yeah, I'm glad he won. He won 2 years, 2 back-to-back rap albums.
That's right.
So
Well, it wasn't
that's
back
pretty
to
rare.
back because last year Nas won.
No, but still back-to-back
Fair.
because he was nominated last year.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I thought that was great. And I'm just quickly looking through the list.
You're missing one big controversy within the black community and the Caribbean community
Oh,
specifically.
I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
There.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. American Roots music. John Baptiste won Cry There. And Best American Roots Song. John Baptiste won Cry There again. So I think John left with like maybe 5 or 6 Grammys
Damn.
that night. So yeah, because he does other stuff too. But like his album winning, that was pretty strange. All right, now I got to. It's only one category. It's only one subcategory for it. Reggae, best reggae album, right?
Yes, sir.
And I don't listen to reggae, so I'm not gonna lie. The only reggae artist I know on the list is Spice, Jess Royale, because I seen him on Instagram, and Sean Paul because literally 2004,
Right.
right?
Right.
2003, 2004.
But it's safe to say, Bashtin, you're familiar with those reggae artists. Well, honestly, Spice in them, they're dancehall, but whatever, Grammys, whatever. But you're familiar with them. You're familiar with most of their music. You're familiar with them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So one of the biggest discuss, and like I said, I don't pay attention to reggae, so I wasn't looking at this category, but it was brought to my attention to the discuss that was happening, and the discussion was Soulja won.
And
Soulja,
for those of you who are saying, who the f- is Soulja?
Soulja is a white band that plays reggae music,
From Virginia.
and they're from Virginia, and that threw off. Hey, if you make music, you could do whatever you like. That's your music. If you want to do that style, right? Because Bruno Mars, he does a lot of old black music from the 70s. That's his thing. He's always been about that.
He appreciates the music. He always
We could have a
up.
conversation about that, but I don't care to have it.
We have
Yeah.
already though.
We have.
We did. We defended Bruno back in 2018 when this popped off initially.
So that was the big discussion. People were very upset how this band won,
Yes.
especially beating other Jamaican artists.
Yes, within the Caribbean community, Caribbean American community, first generation Caribbean American community, and the black community as a whole, we were utterly shocked and disgusted, and it felt like 2014 all over again.
So yeah, it was weird. But other than that, I could talk about music for visual media. United States versus Billie Holiday. Andre Day won that best score soundtrack for visual media. Even though Dune was nominated, and even Mandalorian season 2 was nominated.
Whoa, the Billie Holiday record beat that then?
No. The Billie Holiday beat like Corella.
Oh, okay.
One Night in Miami.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh,
But
okay. I
for
was about to
best
say.
score soundtrack for visual media, so like TV shows.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest. I'm sorry. The Queen's Gambit tied with Soul, John Baptiste. So this is another John Baptiste record that won. Best song written for visual media, Bo Burnham won All Eyes on Me. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for like things that we know. I do find it very strange that like older artists could get nominated for music today.
Wait, what?
Like for non-classical and for
Oh,
other
yeah,
different
yeah.
other
Hey,
categories that most people don't pay attention to.
didn't Summer of Soul win something too?
Yeah, Summer of Soul won, if I could remember, I think best music film.
See, shout out to Questlove, man. Okay, I still feel bad for him for what happened last week, but you know what I'm saying? I'm really proud of him because he won an Academy Award and a Grammy, man. Back-to-back weeks, man. Shout out to him.
So
I'm
yeah.
proud of him.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So that was pretty much the Grammys. Was it great? No. Were the people that won like, did they deserve to win? I think so. I think they did a good job.
Even John Baptiste?
Yeah, John Baptiste. Yeah, even he won music video for the song Freedom.
Soulja should have won.
Huh?
Soulja should have won.
So I don't know about that. I don't really care. That's not my conversation.
Fair enough, man.
But I am disappointed by one thing. My boy Lil Nas X did not walk home with a Grammy that night.
Ah, damn, nothing?
Nothing.
That sucks.
Very disappointing. But you know, it is what it is. I do think he could, you know,
He'll be back.
he'll be back again.
I told you before what Lil Nas X needs to do. I told you already. I don't know if you remember, Bashtin, because last year, Lil Nas X had the Satan shoes and all that, but I told you what Lil Nas X needs to do to come back even stronger than before. He needs to go back to country music. I'm telling you.
Just do straight up country?
Straight up country again. Do that again, Lil Nas X. Come out with a straight up country album. You know what I'm saying? Win the country Grammy. Go to the, what the hell is it called? The CMTs, the CMAs? Mm-hmm. You better freaking wash them all. Okay? Because unlike some of these country stars, guess what, Lil Nas X? Your record's going to be playing in the streets. It's going to be playing on the TikToks. It's going to be playing in the black neighborhoods. Okay? Old Town Road was playing in the hood. Gangsters love that damn song. I love the song. Everyone loved the song, okay? Then you kept making remixes, but that's beside the point. Point is, go back to the country route. I'm telling you. Throwing Dolly Parton there too? Bruh, you are a shoe-in. I'm telling you. Give me some Miley Cyrus collabs, some Dolly Parton collabs. I'm telling you, you gonna win. You're gonna come back even harder than before. What do you think, Bash?
And I think I agree with you last time, because I think he has the great voice for country, and all he has to do is just, you know, get the right producers and, you know, the right songwriters. I think he'd just be a success.
It's gonna be a banger, bro. I'm telling you, man. He can do it. He can do it.
So there was another show that was going on the same time as the Grammy, which is the reason Gio wasn't able to watch with me. And that's why I was the one that, you know, presented today. But Gio, what were you doing,
Bashtin,
at the same time?
I was watching night 2, actually, Bashtin, of WrestleMania 38, because WrestleMania now from the World Wrestling Entertainment is now a 2-night spectacular. But honestly, Bashtin, you know, the event leading up to WrestleMania, it's basically a week where WWE invades a town. They invaded Dallas. They were at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, one of the crappiest football teams ever. Go Giants. And, you know, the card was looking a bit iffy, Bashtin, because let's just say the build up to this year's WrestleMania was based off of a match that we've seen before plenty of times. It was Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar was the WWE champion. Roman Reigns was the Universal champion. So it was 2 championships colliding. and it was winner take all. And this is the third encounter that they've had at WrestleMania. The first encounter was back in 2015 at WrestleMania 31, and then they went at it again, WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, 2018, and then it's the third time these men met again. But the roles have changed, where Brock Lesnar is now a good guy, Roman Reigns is a bad guy. He has held that title on for about 500 days, Bashtin, which is a record in the modern sense of professional wrestling. And there's only a couple of things that I really cared about for WrestleMania weekend. One was the return of one Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bashtin. And we've talked about him last month because it was 316. And he was main eventing night one of WrestleMania with the Kevin Owens show, where Kevin Owens would present, where Kevin Owens was for the past couple of weeks talking ill about Texas, and so he called out Stone Cold Steve Austin to be on the show for WrestleMania. Stone Cold responded, and he said, "You've lit within a fire within me that I haven't had in a long time. We haven't seen Stone Cold Steve Austin actively in the ring since 2003, Bashtin. He was in his late 30s when he retired, so we have not seen him active in the ring in a long time. 19 years, to be precise. Sheesh. 19 years. So I made it a point that I was watching WrestleMania. I'm not watching the damn Grammys, okay? I'm watching Stone Cold, damn it. So I was really looking forward to that. And so when the main event happened, okay, the show started and Kevin Owens said, "Look, Steve, the reason why I brought you out here is because, I didn't really want to talk to you." He said, "I was looking for a fight." And then everyone in the arena started going crazy. Everyone started erupting. And then Stone Cold said, "If you want me to beat the hell out of him, give me a hell yeah." Everyone's like, "Oh my God, hell yeah." So he's like, "Get a referee out." And then the ref came, and then Bashtin, all pandemonium happened. It felt like we were transported back in 1999. And I was 5 years old again, watching Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was beating the hell out of Kevin Owens. He was drinking all of the beer in the world. I will say this, because Stone Cold Steve Austin is now 57 years old. He did start off, when he started off, it looked a bit rough. I'm not gonna lie, man. He hasn't been in the ring in 19 years, so he started off really slow, but as he kept drinking the beer, he started to get he started to flow a bit more. It started to seem a bit more fluid again. So I don't know, maybe it's like Popeye and his spinach. It's the same with Stone Cold and his beer. Like, the more he drank, which was a lot, the better he got in the ring. And so I was happy to see that. This was also a time where we saw a lot of retirements happen. The Undertaker. I don't know if you know who The Undertaker is, Bashtin. He's the dead man. He used to scare me as a child because, he used to roll his eyes in the back of his forehead, and he was called the dead man. And, he did a lot of like supernatural powers and all that stuff. He retired finally after a 30-year career in the ring. He debuted in 1990, and then he had his last match in last year's WrestleMania in 2021 in Tampa. What else happened at WrestleMania that I really cared about? Hold up. I'm trying to think about it. Oh, Logan Paul. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Logan freaking Paul. All right. Social media superstar. Okay. I'm not going to call him professional boxer, but celebrity boxer. Yes, that Logan Paul. He stepped in the ring with his tag team partner, The Miz, and he was facing the likes of Rey Mysterio, of course, wrestling legend, legendary luchador, and his son, Dominic Mysterio, in a tag team match. And I got to tell you something, man. I was shocked, Sebastian.
What are you shocked about?
Logan Paul was freaking incredible. Like, I already knew he was an athletic dude, but wrestling is different than boxing, right? Boxing, you just have to know how to move. You need to know how to move your feet. Wrestling, it's a lot more acrobatics. You know what I'm saying? You're doing flips, you're doing slams, and he looked great. And of course, since people naturally hate Logan Paul, it was easy to boo him. He came out with like a super rare ass Pokemon card blinged out. He came out with that, and
Smart.
super smart. If you're into collecting Pokemon, I think he came out with like this
This
limited.
is Logan Paul, right?
This is Logan Paul. This isn't Jake Paul. This
So
is
this is what I
Logan
always tell
Paul.
people. It's like I even told you, in the world of YouTubers, he is the best at what he does. I don't watch any of his videos. I watch maybe like one or two just to understand him a little
All
bit.
he does is his
But
freaking podcast now, though. No.
Yeah, now he does podcasts. But
Yeah.
at the time when he used to do a lot of YouTube stuff, he was the best at what he did. All right. So he's definitely on another plane in the terms of like the YouTube world, and him as a talent in terms of sports. I'm kind of not surprised about it too. Like, yeah, he's the easiest person to hate, 100%.
Yes, that's
But
why
you
it made
can't-
it so great. He's
But that's what makes having talent, even worse.
Logan Paul is so hated. The Miz, who was his tag team partner, who was also a bad guy. The Miz turned on Logan Paul at the end after they picked up the victory, and everyone cheered the Miz. That's how much hate Logan Paul gets. Okay, and I swear to God, Bashtin, if Logan Paul ever makes a transition to WWE, he could be one of the biggest stars there. Easily.
Villain.
The biggest villain of all time, because he's so naturally hated. Like, people naturally don't like him.
Yeah, easily.
And then if he brings his brother Jake in, I know Jake is more like he's more boxing. But if they bring Jake in, what? Are you crazy? People hate that kid too.
It works.
It works so much, Bashtin.
That's funny.
Speaking of celebrities, Bashtin, you know, it was another match that I didn't think would turn great, but it did. This cat Sami Zayn, who's been in the game for a long time, at least a decade, versus Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. Yes, Johnny Knoxville, Bashtin, from MTV. Yes.
Interesting. How did that go?
Surprisingly, really freaking well. I think the reason why it went so well was it's a anything goes match, so that means weapons are in play. There can be interferences. Basically, there's no rules, and so they played to that strength. So we saw a lot of Jackass equipment. Let's say, we saw like a big hand slap the crap out of Sami Zayn. We saw a table filled with mouse traps that Sami Zayn went through. We saw this little foot contraption where if you pull it, like the foot kicks. And so basically Johnny Knoxville set it up, and like it kicked Sami Zayn in the groin. And then you saw interferences with a lot of the Jackass guys. So you saw freaking Wee Man body slam Sami Zayn. And let's not forget Wee Man, he's a little guy. So it was pretty cool to see him actually like body slam Sami Zayn. Then he saw freaking Chris Pontius pop out as Party Boy. So, the dude was dancing. He was in his thong, which was not very PG, by the way. Sami Zayn was disgusted. Also, Jasper the motherfucking Dolphin. He's a Jackass member. He was in the front row to see the whole thing.
Oh yeah, he also won a Grammy as well.
He also did win a Grammy. And look at him now at Wrestle Mania.
Yeah,
Odd Future guys are eating.
That's crazy.
Odd Future guys are eating, man. I'm telling you.
I gotta watch that movie.
You have to watch Jackass 4. I laughed my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. Although the humor's still crude, and I'm 27, it's still funny. I don't know why, man. It's still funny. I think the funniest parts is where he includes his dad in a lot of stuff, which is pretty fun. And his dad's just like OG gangster ass dude, and like he's just doing Jackass stuff. And so you see, when you see him out of that element of where he's originally from, doing all this crazy stuff, you see that he doesn't really like animals, so that's pretty hilarious. And
that's why it made him so great in Loiter Squad.
Oh, he was in Loiter Squad.
Yeah, that's Jasper's dad.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I didn't
What's
watch
his name?
Loiter
Like Big Fish or something?
something like that, like Big Shark or something.
Big Shark, yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, man, WrestleMania this year was pretty good. We got to see Triple H, who's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I don't know if you noticed, but he sat with Stephen A. before WrestleMania, and he announced his retirement. He had a defibrillator in his chest. He's saying in the interview that he was this close from death, and I'm not gonna lie, I got choked up a bit because Triple H means a lot to me growing up. He's my favorite wrestler, and so him coming out in the beginning of WrestleMania, welcoming the people, leaving his boots out in the ring, Bashtin, that is a symbolization of a wrestler's time to hang up the boots and to just retire and call it a day. I was emotional, not gonna lie, because we're not gonna see Triple H wrestle anymore. But he's married to the boss's daughter, so Triple H gonna be around. He's just not gonna,
Who's the boss?
Oh, Vince McMahon is the boss. For those of you,
didn't he have something?
Who, Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't slammed or something.
I'm gonna get to that. Don't worry.
All right.
Because that's another celebrity match. Okay, I'm gonna get to that.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to skip it.
Oh, no. We're not skipping that at all. We're not skipping that because, Stone Cold Steve Austin came out a second time on Sunday when you were watching the Grammy. So I'm going to talk about that. No worries. But I just wanted to get off the Triple H stuff because, he was a big influence to me. He's one of the reasons why I grew out my hair, actually, because I thought it would be cool. I could be like Triple H. So, hopefully he comes back every now and again just to spit out water, just because it looks cool. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Triple H. But yes, let's go into, WrestleMania Sunday, one of the biggest celebrity matches again. There's a lot of damn celebrity matches this year, which never really happens that much. And it's between Pat McAfee, for those of you who do not know who Pat McAfee is. He was a former punter for the Indianapolis Colts, and he went up against Austin Theory, who is the protege of Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon. There's this big angle where Austin Theory's been learning from Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon has taken Austin Theory under his wing, so he's been crafting and cultivating him into a future world champion, right? So Pat McAfee gets a match with Austin Theory, and this isn't Pat McAfee's first match. He's had a couple of matches in WWE's developmental, which is NXT, and he's really good as well. And Pat McAfee picked up the win. Vince McMahon was right at ringside. However, Vince McMahon went in the ring. A referee came out. Austin Theory low blowed Pat McAfee, and Vince McMahon pinned him, and Vince McMahon beat Pat McAfee. They started celebrating, and all of a sudden, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes back out again, and everyone loses their crap. Oh my God, Stone Cold! And if you don't understand the level of history between Vince McMahon and Stone Cold, that means you just didn't watch wrestling back in the day, people. Okay, this was the biggest angle in wrestling history. Okay, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the working man, versus his boss, the boss of the whole company, Mr. McMahon. And every week in the 90s, Stone Cold would make Mr. McMahon's life a living hell, okay? He's buried this man's car with cement, okay? He shot a water hose at him filled with beer, okay? He's hit him with a bedpan posing as a doctor, okay? He's made this man's life a living hell, people. Oh, he came in a Zamboni truck one time and started beating the hell out of him. So trust me, people, if you have never watched wrestling, just go on YouTube and just watch those clips. It will make you understand what the popularity was back then. So Stone Cold comes out, and first he Stone Cold Stunners Austin Theory, and I showed Bashtin a gif on what he did, and it looked very animated. It looked like a video game. It was one of the best bumps ever. It's one of the best sells ever. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin, for old time's sake, he Stone Cold Stunners Mr. McMahon. It looked horrible, by the way, because when he kicked him in the gut, Mr. McMahon ran the ropes, but Stone Cold was supposed to catch him. But hey, that's what Vince McMahon does. He never takes good Stone Cold Stunners ever. And yeah, I don't want to talk about the main event. Roman Reigns won, and the main event sucked. But overall, I would like to say WrestleMania hasn't been that enjoyable since 2015, and so this was the first real enjoyable WrestleMania that we've had since then, and I had so much fun watching it, and I knew I would not have fun watching the Grammys, so that's why I stuck Bashtin' with watching the Grammys, and I wanted to watch WrestleMania because at least I knew hopefully I would get something out of it, and thankfully I did. I was shocked. I was really shocked, Bashtin', because I didn't think the card was that great, but sometimes when you get chicken crap, you get some chicken salad out of it. And I was happy on how most of the matches turned out, and the stuff that I cared about, it delivered in the best way possible. And I got to see Stone Cold Steve Austin again, and I think that's it. Yeah, WrestleMania 38.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's like live theater. It's like a live spectacle almost, because WrestleMania is like the biggest night in wrestling.
Okay. I don't know. I know most of it through osmosis, so I just understand wrestling a little bit, especially, working with you these past few years, and you could just talking about on the show. Certain fans that enjoy that part of the show. I know I spoke to people that wish we spoke more about wrestling. It's like, no, there's only one person that could do it.
Really?
And when we had Mike on the show, so yeah.
Really? People wish we talk about wrestling more?
Yeah, and I said absolutely not.
Yeah, because Bashtin' would not know what the hell's going on. Exactly. I'm just happy Bashtin' let me talk about it for this long. Because
in my mind it's like wrap it up. But I did take a minute for the Grammys, so
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. I know a lot of people would prefer it too if we talk a lot more about anime, but it's the same thing. I don't
talk about it either. Yeah. It takes too much personal time to get into it.
And the fans suck too, honestly. My bad.
I think all fans suck. I just think you're about your echo chamber.
Oh no, man. Wrestling fans are the worst too. They freaking suck. So, I freaking I can't stand them, dog. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed that discussion of the Grammys 2022 and WrestleMania. Next year, I think the Grammys are still gonna suck. I'm not gonna lie. And next year, I don't know what the hell. Oh, WrestleMania is gonna be in Hollywood, Bashtin'. Yo, get us some tickets, bro. You gonna be in LA, man? Come on, man. Let's go to WrestleMania in Hollywood.
Let's see.
It's gonna be in SoFi Stadium. It's gonna be in Inglewood. It's gonna be in the hood.
SoFi is very nice. Very nice.
I know. I've seen it. I've seen pictures, man. We can go. Yeah. We can go, man. WrestleMania. Allegedly, The Rock is coming back. I don't know how true that is, but that's the big rumor. The Rock is coming back. So do with that what you will.
All right. That being said, what we like to do, we like to jump into the next topic. We want to play the song.
Let's jump into the next topic, man. This show's about to be over anyways soon. We always do this. We always load up with stuff. So, I want to say this. Bashtin' told me to watch Turning Red. I was about to say Red Panda again. And I did not understand why. He just said, he's like, hey, G, did you see Turning Red? I was like, the Panda movie? And I was like, no. He's like, yo, watch the movie. And I was like, okay, why? What's happened? He goes, there's a lot of controversy behind it. I'm like, what controversy can happen over a damn Panda movie from Pixar? He goes, trust me, watch it. And so I saw it Tuesday night, and I loved it. It's a really good movie. It's from Pixar, so by default, like they have that reputation, other than the Cars series, that whenever they put out something, whenever they put out an animation, it's gonna be of quality. I mean, the last Pixar movie I saw was Soul, and it was a really good movie, and it had one of the best jokes of all time. And so with Turning Red, because I was going to say Red Panda again, we were introduced to the protagonist, 13-year-old girl from Toronto of Asian descent. And May, yes, just turned 13. She was used to certain things. She's used to being an overachiever, a scholar. She's used to working all the time. She's very, what's the word? not studious, but
I think studious and focused.
studious and focused on, her family, definitely her family, and just her studies and her friends. And the group Four Towns, which, I'm not going to lie, Four Towns kind of fire.
And this takes place, like, I think in 2002.
Yes.
So the Four Town concept, when we used to have boy bands,
Yes.
it really made sense. And I do think it being in 2002 really cuts off from, like, cell phones. It's not a smartphone. And
Right.
also, like,
Tamagotchi
being very
pets.
interested, Tamagotchi being very interested in the culture of today. And we don't want to spoil anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what else did you want to discuss?
Oh, I still wanted to know why this movie was controversial. So I started looking it up, and the general plot or the message of the movie on what the movie covers and tackles was the issue that parents had about the movie. And I said, this is why Bashtin wanted me to see the movies, because I'm assuming he wants to know how I feel about parents feeling like a movie is dictating to their kids on whatever it is that the movie wants to talk about, rather than the parents having a conversation about whatever it is that they want to have a conversation about with the kids, I think, right?
Yeah, pretty. So what I've, like, when the movie came out, it's like, okay, it's one of those movies. I don't really care to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the negative media was, like, in my face about it. So the thing about negative media, I do think some negative media is a very small percentage, and news articles would just show more of it, glamorize it, expand it so it's in your face, so you want to support so and so. The best examples, in my opinion, is Ghostbusters, when it was an all-woman cast and people were talking bad about it, allegedly. And it's just
it's
like
not
a
allegedly.
very small. It was a very small percentage of people talking about it, because most people didn't talk about it.
It sucked.
Hence, yeah, it sucked. That's why.
And it's not because it was an all-woman cast, by the way. It's because it was a bad movie. That's it.
So that's the thing. When they have a bad movie and everybody said it was a bad movie, what they try to do is, juxtaposition. They will put another conversation on why people think it's a bad movie, saying that, it's these, basement dwellers, men that want to keep their Ghostbusters all men. But that's not necessarily true, because it could be a small percentage that does have that perspective.
Right.
But when people did, try to support and watch it, it's either they're lying to their teeth or did not like the movie at all, because the ratings were pretty low, and also it didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah, but also that COVID too.
What?
Wait, it came out in 2019, right?
Yeah, that was way before COVID.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, the movie sucked.
Yeah, it was way before COVID.
My bad.
Nobody was interested.
Yeah,
we were talking about the new Ghostbusters movie.
I heard that was fire.
And I heard the first half sucked and the second half was better, or vice versa. I don't know.
I just heard that one was a lot better.
I heard it was a lot better, but I didn't hear nobody say it was fire though. That's why no one was really talking about it. So I wanted Gio to look into this, because I wanted to see if, one, did you find what May was going through relatable?
Well, I mean, I'm a boy, so with what she was going through, being she got her first menstruation. No. However, I related to the fact that, May is growing, she's maturing, and so things aren't going to be the same anymore. Her perspectives are going to change. The way she feels about her family, the things that she's into, it's all going to change. May started becoming attracted to boys. May wanted to hang out with her friends more. She wanted to live for herself a lot more than to live for her family. And so coming from immigrant parents, I feel like a lot of first generation born kids, whether it's America or Canada, I feel like they relate to that a lot. Okay, because of course you have your parents, you have your family that you love. They'll go, I didn't swim all the way to America for you to do X, Y, and Z. I didn't swim all the way for you to go to this Four Towns concert, and I don't like your friends. They have bad influence on you. Blah 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 blah. So that a lot of that can be relatable, and it is relatable in that aspect. Yes, I relate with.
So that's the thing about art. Now it can't be 100% relatable, right?
Right.
That's not how it works. You relate to certain aspects of the storytelling process.
Yeah, I don't relate to the Asian culture, but I relate to the immigrant culture immediately.
Exactly. It's like you don't have to compare your life to the significant Asian culture that the film carries around itself with, but you could look at it as how culture signifies how you grow up, your relationship with you and your parents, especially with your parents' parent, right?
Yes.
Because that's a different conversation too, because how you feel about your grandparents is not the same as how your parents grew up, because that's their parents.
Right, exactly.
So that's something I thought was very interesting. And like I said, I seen the negative connotation of it first. Then I went to go see it for myself, and I left with, positivity.
Right.
I thoroughly enjoyed the film. And it's like, yeah, I would make, if I had kids, I'll make them watch it, then talk about it later, because it's all about perspective. You're going to see things differently than from a kid. So what I liked, that's pretty, I think you did a good job explaining the movie.
Thanks.
So what I did is I went to do research different titles for articles, and for example, this NPR article, Turning Red is a turning point for Asians in film. Why is this seen as unrelatable? That's one headline, right? Another one by USA Today, Pixar's Turning Red caught some parents off guard, but the film isn't the problem, right? And I have another one. There is more than one way to be exhausted by Turning Red, right? And that was by the New Yorker.
I have a question with all those people who wrote it too.
Yeah.
Just one question. It's 2 words. Are they?
No, I think it's more mixed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very mixed because NPR is written by Deepa Shivaram.
Oh,
right?
okay. All right. Fair enough.
So it's like they understand what they want to do.
Yeah.
There's different perspectives on it. And of course, Yahoo News Turning Red criticized by some parents for embracing female puberty and menstruation. And just to quickly talk about how articles are written most of the time, and we were saying earlier in the episode, especially the Will Smith example, that it's just one source and everything's copy and paste.
Yes.
And that's what I saw for most articles, where they were using the same quotations. So in my head, it's like, oh, these people are just taking the same quotes they saw on Facebook and sharing it with each other.
Y'all didn't even really read. Y'all didn't really even watch the damn movie.
More like the people writing the film, writing the news articles, didn't go and research. Did people really feel that way about the film? And that's what I wanted to do. I was like, all right, let me go look and see, do people really dislike it in the way that these articles are saying? So, of course, the number one website to see all those things is Rotten Tomato. And when I last checked, it was 66%. But today, when I checked, it was 73% for the audience score and 94% for the critiques.
Right.
And in the audience score rating, there's roughly 2,500 comments on there.
Damn.
And I do find it very suspicious.
Yeah,
right?
that movie, the freaking Panda movie gave you all of that. It conjured up all of those emotions. So
I want to actually read a few.
Please.
And let me know what you think.
Okay.
This is the first one. This was given 1/2 star.
A half star out of 5?
A half star. Yeah, half star out of 5.
You hating.
And this is the quote.
Okay,
definitely not made for kids. It glorifies finding yourself and following friends at the expense of listening to your parents' guidance. Totally inappropriate for children. Preteens who are not living in the modern, progressive cult of ideas find topics awkward and uncomfortable.
Oh, no.
Maybe Pixar should decide if they want to continue making charming and enduring film favorites or edgy progressive adult films and stop sitting on the fence. Another one is this was given a 1 star. Not appropriate for kids. It teaches kids that it's okay to disobey parents if it's more important to the child. And I'll give you one more. Then I'll ask for your opinion. This was given 1.5 star. This is not what Pixar is about. I can see a very small group of people actually relating to this movie that feels so conditioned by current political trends. It loses all potential to succeed as a film. Awesome animation, though. And I chose these three because as I was reading and went through like pages and pages and pages, I thought, this is pretty much all I read. These are the type of comments I saw constantly.
I wonder how they feel politically. Bashtin?
And that's pretty much it. This goes back to the conversation of people just commenting just to comment on things. And that's the culture that we're living in today.
Let me see if we got a Ben Shapiro think piece on this. Let me just go ahead and check on YouTube real quick. Please talk to the people.
So if things happen within the culture, there are people that will just comment against it just to comment against it. Even if the product or the idea wasn't created towards that target audience, they feel obligated to have their opinion, shown out, which is fine, right? But at a certain point of time, I do think it's more of a mass opinion, especially in the echo chamber in this QAnon day age, where people will comment or altogether just constantly bash an idea in order to get those opinions out. And I do like see for one example, and this is like real life, the don't say gay that's happening in Florida. And have you heard about that?
Yeah, of course I've heard about it. It's Florida.
So what that pretty much signifies is a very open to interpretation law where they do not want teachers from age, I think, kindergarten to third grade, if I'm corrected.
Yes.
To discuss anything dealing with sexuality. And the examples of like, if a kid has two fathers, they don't want to have any sort of discussion in the classroom. And I remember reading a comment online about what a teacher says, like, first of all, this is normal in the conversation of talking about kids because kids are going to see things and they're going to ask questions. So you're going to have a small conversation about it. Second thing is kids don't really care about that. Kids never do.
They don't.
And I thought the funniest quote that the teacher said is they're more focused on when it's snack time.
Facts. They want to know when is snack time, when can they talk to their friends, when can they play, when's nap time because they don't want to nap. Kids don't really care about that stuff. It's the adults that feel like, I don't want you brainwashing my kid with these liberal progressive views.
And you're the one already brainwashing your kid with like lack of knowledge and keeping them in a bubble away from certain ideas because you're closing them because you feel unsafe about the outside world. And hey, maybe your government makes you feel unsafe and they could do better about it. Sure, we could have that particular conversation, but if you feel unsafe, especially because of your usage of media, especially in the pandemic age, especially in the algorithm bubble that you're in, this is pretty much what's happening. And just to quickly talk about, like,
did they see Inside Out?
So, I think about the old videos, and I do think these people are adults with children. And, Gio, you have an older brother, you have an older sibling. You've seen movies from the 80s and 90s.
I have.
They're crazier.
Oh, dude, what? Movies from the 80s and 90s, there's certain stuff that I'm shocked to this day that it got the PG rating.
Right? That's the way I look at it too. It's like those movies are crazy. 80s was wild for the things that's coming out. I wish, we could have that 80s era in 2000, but we're all about remakes and stuff.
No, it's all about remakes now, unfortunately, my mans.
And the way I look at it is revisionist history. People look at their past and completely rewrite it like it never existed. Like back in my day, we had this and this and that, when entirely not true.
Of course, they love to glorify and glamorize what they grew up on. They like to glorify what they consider to be the good old days because they grew up on that. And people need to stop that and realize, we were just as bad, if not worse, okay? 3 o'clock in the morning while you're watching South Park, guess what came on? Frickin' Girls Gone Wild commercials, all right? And you had your volume on one because you didn't want your parents to hear that. All right, stop playing. I know y'all, okay? Because I am you, okay? I know what went on. All right, all them crazy sex lines and all them commercials that will pop up while you watching Three's Company at 3 a.m. I know. You watching George Lopez and all some crazy commercial popped up. I know. Stop playing.
So one of my favorite things that many of these comments are commentating is about disobeying your parents for your friends. And it's one of those things where it's either you watch the film or you completely misunderstood the film.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I forgot who said it on Twitter, but it's like reading comprehension is an all-time low.
Oh, 100%, Bashtin. Are you
not reading comprehension?
Yes.
And the idea is that even older films, like, all right, the first movie I seen in the movie theater literally is about disobeying the parent and going to fight for a war so your father doesn't go, and that's Mulan.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
First movie I seen in the movie theater is literally about disobeying your parents, right?
That
came out like 96 or something, like
98.
Like 98.
98. Yeah.
Finding Nemo. It's literally about disobeying your parents.
Yeah.
And then the consequences of disobeying your parents.
Yeah. Freaking Nemo said YOLO, and look what happened. Freaking scuba divers scooped his little ass up for not obeying his pops. Nemo wanted to be a little badass.
The Little Mermaid is literally about disobeying your parents.
She's a freaking brat, yo, and she learned nothing at the end. She got everything she wanted, bro.
Yeah, that's worse storytelling.
The Lion King. The Lion King. Didn't Mufasa tell Simba, yo, don't go beyond there. Don't go where the hyenas go, Simba. Simba say, you know what? I'm the prince. Come on, Nala, you riding with me? And they went over there, okay? They always do that in Disney film. Yo, yeah, these people got me tight now, bro.
It's the art of storytelling. In order to, the number one rule, put a conflict. And once you put that conflict in it, boom, that's where you have your story. Every Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode is about disobeying what Uncle Phil says. Yeah. Right? And at the end of episodes, to learn the lesson. So this is when people say it teaches them to disobey their parents. I was like, this is revisionist history, because that's the number one way to do a kid movie. You have to put a scene where they disobey your parents and they get in trouble, and then the parents forgives them. And the kid understands that they don't know any better, or sometimes the parents just doing it too much. Tangled, disobey the parent, but that was with purpose.
Big fat liar. Frankie Muniz kept lying. He kept lying his ass off. And then finally he tried to tell the truth, but the parents didn't want to believe him no more. So he went all the way to LA to prove that he was telling the truth. You know what that movie taught us? Stop lying. Because once you tell the truth, people ain't gonna believe your ass.
So, yeah, it's revisionist history. It's the way people are commenting today on certain subjects. So when people give this on Rotten Tomatoes score a
half star out of 5,
a half star, 1 star, 73% audience score, I don't see it as that anymore. I don't see it as like real opinions. I just see it as opinionated people. That are just commenting on today's, in the whole sense. And it's very important to talk about, like, don't say gay, what's going on in Florida right now, and the type of language they're using it, like the term grooming and pedophilia. It's disgusting. And it's all this kind of, they're sharing the same vocabulary because they're not thinking for themselves. It's this echo chamber. So when a movie like Turning Red, which is a beautiful film, and it's like, come on, kids gonna watch it. They're gonna see different things. By the time they're 15, they watch this movie again. They understand it more than once they're 7.
Right.
We don't like. You ever watch Trolls with your niece?
I have not seen Trolls with my niece.
But does she love Trolls? I heard it's like kids love the movie Trolls.
I don't know.
Wanted me, a black man 27, care to watch the movie Trolls.
Yeah, nah, I'm cool. Ain't that the Justin Timberlake movie?
I don't know. But kids love the movie Trolls, right? Like, I will say I love Shrek 1, Shrek 2. It's like, yo, I'm put you on a game. But the movies today, it's still game.
Yeah.
It's still game.
That's going to be a conversation we have next week, because, I keep talking to... I'll talk about it next week, man. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, but that's just kind of one I wanted to talk about slightly. That don't worry about how certain people feel about the media that you love. Most of the time, it is these same groups of people that are just going to next conversation culture piece, and they're just bombarded with the same vocabulary, the same opinions, and you gotta do your job to fight it. And if your friend is
Absolutely.
one of those persons, you gotta save them. You gotta save that friend.
She don't
You
wanna
still have
be.
time.
Don't say mom. They don't wanna be.
Now, as long as your friend is
I'm
not like
joking.
40 or like a divorced Republican dad, like you
That's
can't
very
really save them after
specific.
that. Oh yeah, you can't really save them after that. But you still have time to save them.
All right.
And I'm gonna leave it on that note. Save your friends.
Save them.
Save them.
We'll see you again next week, everyone. Take care. We're going out to Buddy featuring T-Pain. Happy hour. Peace.
Peace.